So we made a lot of mistakes, and I'll probably touch upon them also if you want. But I think where we started hitting success is when we started really listening to the trucker problems. Although we had bootstrapped the journey for the first 6 months before we raised funds, and we started building the product after that, the initial product was a little away from the needs, from the precise needs of the trucker.
Okay,
तो
yeah.
वो क्या था, वो ट्रैकिंग वगैरह हम कर रहे थे, पॉइंट टू पॉइंट वी वर ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड विजिबिलिटी, गिव हिम डिमांड, बट देयर वर फ्यू थिंग्स व्हिच आर मिसिंग आल्सो. भाई, अ ट्रकर आल्सो नीड्स इमेंस क्लैरिटी ऑन पेमेंट्स, राइट? एंड ही कैन नॉट वेट फॉर आफ्टर 6 months मेरे को बताना शुरू करोगे, आई हैव डन अ वर्क विथ यू, हाउ मच विल आई गेट पेड, व्हेन विल आई गेट पेड, डज ही गेट पेड,
And does he get paid on time? Yeah.
exactly, right? So you had to give them that whole visibility, for example, right? And how do you solve it via product? Back then, when the mobile phone infiltration, smartphone infiltration within the truckers was a little less. We are talking about pre-Jio era.
Yeah, pre-Jio era, which was
pre-demonetization also.
Yes.
In that way.
Totally,
right?
I understand. Yeah.
So वो थोड़ा, so we made a few very functional products at that time where we had to really say that यार ये तो नहीं चल रहा है. In fact, we had to, the operations model was very central. So we had a central control room through which we were trying to control all operations. And these truckers did not even have smartphones at times. So tracking them also was becoming difficult. And that is where we started even evolving on our operational model. That is where the change happened. So it became, the model itself became slightly less scalable. From 100% scalability, probably less scalable, slightly less. But at the same time, it started bringing up the SLAs for the customers and for the truckers in such a way that our business started growing drastically, right?
That's a great point, because most times when people are building, they're focused on technology and trying to ensure everything is enabled via technology.
Yep.
But there are times when you got to take a step back and allow for operations to solve the problem, and tech to maybe not be 100% tech driven, be in 70% of the workflows tech driven, but that operations is what ensures that the job gets done well, the SLAs that you're talking about.
Oh, absolutely. See, tech is an enabler. At least in logistics or in most of the operational businesses, tech will enable.
Yeah.
It will enable you to achieve process or run processes which will help you become extremely scalable. It will help you have clarity or gather data assets which will convert into decision-making power that you can have or you can automate to a certain extent, which help you just grow the business like anything. But at the end of the day, tech is an enabler. Someone has to understand that, bhai, these are my SLAs. This is how I'm defining my trucker pain, and I have to live up to those expectations. And see, technology is not a commodity till the time it is not working.
Yeah.
Once it starts working, it becomes a commodity.
It becomes a commodity very fast. Everybody will replicate.
Telephone is a commodity, right? At one time it was not. It was it was not a commodity. तब तक तो you will always need these operations teams. So they are the backbone.
Yeah.
They are the one who are achieving things. Now technology product is only enabling them. Data, everyone is just enabling them in order to achieve that in a better way.
Yeah.
So they have to work hands, gloves, and in order to achieve anything. Operational excellence. It's not called technological excellence when it comes to making sure that trucks report on time, they go to deliver on time, the returns are minimized.
Yeah, and that's exactly one of the goals of InsideOps as a series of these interviews that we're doing, right? To shine some light on product, but not from the perspective that product is usually seen. Product is usually always seen from the customer side perspective that we're building for the customer. But there's a lot of product building that happens for internal teams to enable the business models to be able to deliver, their full promise.
Absolutely, yes. And I think, right, one of the things that if I were to go back in time and do is build those, logistics is a complex business.
Yeah.
In whatever, whether you're a vertical player, whether you're just doing last mile, or whether you're a horizontal, whether you're doing an express end-to-end logistics, right? So logistics is a complex business. The complexity helps you have defense in your business model, right? Because everyone can't just copy complexity, right? It's extremely difficult.
Yeah.
At the same time, the challenge is it becomes difficult to scale. Now, when you actually peel off the layers and try to understand why it becomes difficult to scale, because the running operations becomes difficult with scale in a complex model. Now, if you peel off another layer and you say, why does running operation become difficult? Now you will understand that the things are being done manually, archaically, the data in order to take decisions, the firefighting, all of this is happening in a very haphazard way.
Yeah.
Right? There's no method to madness.
Yeah.
And so what happens is people spend 8 hours, 10 hours every day doing a lot of job but achieving almost nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a lot of time sunk. And,
Right. So if I were to go back in time and redesign operations, I would optimize for all of this. I will optimize for transparency, visibility, decision making, iterations, right, at a faster level. And that is what, if you tie up complexity with a good scalable model, which you design by peeling off these layers and understanding how you become scalable,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's the perfect recipe to have a moat as well as a larger business.
Yeah.